Watch WRC Plus on all devices, WRC Plus, all live.
Welcome to Rally Sweden 2020. Second round on the championship calendar for us. A winter rally with a slightly different complexion this time around. Let's take a look at the road order then as we head into Shakedown this morning. Thierry Neuville and Niklas Gilsel, our championship leaders, are first on the road, followed by Ogier, Evans, Lappi, Rovanperä, Suninen, Katsuta and Tänak. And we're going to go right down to Pontus Tiedemann this morning, so plenty to have a look at and watch. Julian Porter is alongside me, I'm Bex Williams, and here we go then with our first car out of the blocks this morning. It is Thierry Neuville and Niklas Gilsel ready to go into the first pass of Shakedown this morning. Morning, Jules.
Morning, Bex.
And morning everyone around the world as well who is watching us here. It's -5 out at the Shakedown stage at Scala this morning.
It looks cold, doesn't it? You can just see on that picture, it looks cold. Yeah, we might be missing the snow, but at the end of the day, we just need the solid road for the studs on those tyres to bite into. That's what we need.
I think it's been well documented that obviously the snow hasn't quite arrived as the organisers and everyone was hoping. But we do have some pretty low temperatures overnight, tonight and tomorrow. And a big part of rallying is adapting to the conditions that you are given. And it's certainly going to be an interesting weekend in that respect.
But there is snow forecast for the region.
There is.
You know, and there's quite a lot of snow forecast. It just depends when it comes, so.
Now, Thierry Neuville, winner, of course, at Rally Monte Carlo. And winner at our last event in 2019 as well in Spain. So momentum is really with him, isn't it?
Yeah, and for me, Neuville's got to take the most out of that momentum. He's the only one of our top challengers who is in the same car. He's got to make hay while the sun shines, so to speak, because, you know, in Monte on Saturday afternoon and Sunday, he really kind of excelled in those really, really fast sections where he knew what his car was going to handle like. Ogier and Evans were maybe just losing a tenth of a second here and there in the really committed brave bits because they don't have that experience. Neuville's got to try and make that pay again this weekend, as we've already touched on. Different conditions. Neuville will have been through something slightly similar last year with the road not being super perfect on a second pass. He will have that experience. So he's got to take as much as he possibly can out of the first 2 or 3 rounds.
I spoke to him last night and they tested not too far away from here in conditions which weren't dissimilar to what we're going to see this weekend. Gravel, ice, all mixed into one stage. So he has a bit of an understanding of what it could be like out there this weekend. But you're right, he really did wring everything he could out of that car during Monte, didn't he?
And he's got to do it here this weekend.
Oh, stall.
Ogier stalled on the start line. Do it here where it doesn't really matter and count, just a little bit of personal pride on the line.
Had a chat with Seb last night about what the strategy is going to be out there this weekend, and he said it's kind of difficult to have a strategy when you don't know exactly what you're going to face. He said, but it's a challenge for everyone, and it is adapting to the conditions that we will have ahead.
So this was the stall. That's it. Yeah. I didn't see what it was launch written on his dashboard, wasn't it? Just takes a little bit of a while to get started again. Again, that's probably the first time he stalled the car. So he's getting used to kind of like how to go through the systems, deactivate stuff and then restart it. But as you say, there's different things to learn and different strategies. These rallies are flat out from the word go anyway. Now, we've got this shortened itinerary. You definitely cannot give anything. It's actually building up to be super, super exciting, pure and simply because of no one can go into tomorrow morning thinking, I tell you what, I'll just bed myself in.
Yeah, Seb mentioned this, you know, the fact that it is shortened. And the last time we saw this event at a reduced pace was in 2016. He won that event. And also remember, when you look back to other rallies which haven't been quite as long as we expected, they've been a real
Jordan.
Yeah. Was it 2-3
Ogier
tenths of a second?
One, didn't he?
Over Latvala. So yeah, he's got history in this kind of form. But he definitely, you know, stressed last night. It is going to be about a little bit more management if they can. tyres. Obviously, we've seen some changes. We'll explain that a little bit later in the day as to what is happening
There's
with
a couple of tyre zones gone in there to fit them new tyres. Again, that bogged down slightly. It didn't stall, but bogged down slightly.
Elfyn Evans, a man who was massively impressive in Monty. I mean, we've seen his pace certainly over rallies gone by, but I think he managed to impress a lot of people out there who
he was driver of the weekend for me.
Yeah,
just
I
because
think for me
he was
as well.
up against Ogier in the same car in Monty, and Neuville's no slouch in Monty. Neuville's, he could have won an under 2 Monties for, albeit just small little things that have gone wrong. I thought Evans was a revelation, and you know, we've seen those glimpses in the M Sport car before. We've seen those moments where he's been in fights and he's been in battles, and one thing or another, it's just either not come off for him or he's just not had that experience. And I think I've got a clean sheet of paper here, working with Ogier. Oh, here we go. Let's have another go. Just wondering, those 2 Toyotas there, one did stall with Ogier, one just bogging down. Is there actually more grip than what they thought on that start line? And they're not quite, because maybe they were expecting the wheels to spin more. Are they setting off, I don't know, in second gear or something, expecting a lot of wheel spin, and there isn't that wheel spin because the road is so solid and the spikes are digging in? I don't know, but strange that you see 2 top-line drivers, one stalling and one just bogging down a little bit.
Back with Seb and Julian now. Thierry Neuville has already completed for us, and it's a time of 4:12.9. Another key thing that Ogier mentioned last night, I mean, you look and you can see for yourselves that, you know, there's no ice on this stage. It is down to the gravel, and he said it's important for us to get a run on the tyres, on the gravel, to find out how the car is reacting ahead of the weekend, because there are going to be potentially sections of stages, with regard to whether the weather comes in or not, that will be like this.
Yeah, I think when we're going tomorrow in Norway, I was in there yesterday, and it's a little bit white in places, but I only went through stage 3. In stage 2, apparently there's quite a lot.
Yeah.
At stage 4, there is a large part of it. So this is actually the worst we're probably going to see. It may be part of the Torsby sprint stage, which is virtually the same place as this, just behind the service park. So, you know, there's a couple of things, 13 seconds down, 10 of that will be on the start line.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember that stall on the start line then for Ogier. So 2 drivers through Neuville and Ogier have completed run 1 of Shakedown for us this morning. Welcome along to Rally Sweden, wherever you are watching around the world. Haley is at the stop control for us to have a chat with the drivers this morning, so let's hear from Seb.
Seb, a tough rally ahead for all the drivers here. What would you say is going to be the biggest challenge for you?
Survive. I mean, with this condition, tires are not made for it, so it's a difficult weekend ahead, yes.
It is going to be a difficult weekend ahead, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out of it
And you know,
with the most points.
you know, as human beings, no one likes change, no one kind of likes uncertainty. They've got that this weekend. They can't rely on their experience from years gone by and things. I think there's a big opportunity, you know, for a Lappi, for a Suninen, for people who are basically, don't take this the wrong way, but people who maybe don't see themselves as winning a world championship at the end of the year. You know, you've got your top 3 favourites. There's an opportunity here for people who are prepared to take a few gambles and take a few risks. If it goes off, they're not really throwing too much away. So someone who wants to be a bit brave and take a few risks, I think could have a good status and a good standing in this weekend.
Okay, Elfyn Evans has now completed for us with a 4:08.5, which is the fastest time through, as we switch back into the car of Lappi and Janne Firm.
Obviously, everyone's aim is to win the World Championship, but there's certain drivers who know that might not just quite work out yet. But if we get big points here by taking a few gambles, all of a sudden, we're in this fight.
Here's Elvin with Hayley.
Elvin, possibly one of the most challenging rally Swedens. What's your game plan for this weekend?
I don't know. It's quite a shock in there. So difficult to really understand. Quite a few surprises throughout the stage. Grip really high in places, but like so loose, just like being on gravel. You know, it's a very strange sensation.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, you know, we don't know what the conditions are going to be like on the stages till we get there tomorrow, because the temperature's going to be pretty cold overnight, we believe. So it could have changed a little bit from recce, but as Julian mentioned, there is patches of ice, there's patches of gravel, there could be patches of snow. We don't know if there's going to be snowfall overnight at the moment, so it is going to be a bit of a mixed bag out there tomorrow.
What is interesting there is we know here, as we've seen from these shots,
It's gravel.
It's gravel, but Elvin's saying, surprisingly, there was some very, very good gripping places. Where the studded tyres, 384 of them, I think, is the number in each tyre. Lappy's taking some nice cuts here, you know. I think Lappy will look at this weekend, like I've already mentioned, think, you know, we've got an opportunity here where we can take a few gambles where some others might not.
Now, Mads Osberg is watching, we believe, this morning, about to go in himself, so morning to you, Mr. Osberg. Lappy through then just 1/10 of a second behind the time of Evans.
He's gone well in the past, though, hasn't he?
He's done really well at Rally Sweden, has Esa-Pekka Lappi. I love the little laugh. I don't know what they were saying there. I'm sure someone will translate it for us.
Toyota bogged down again. I just wonder whether they're trying to start in second gear. I'm not sure. It's just strange that I don't know whether you can start in launch control in second gear. I don't know. I will find out the question over during the weekend and
find out the answer. Even.
Find out the answer. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want the answer or the question?
Esa-Pekka, the rally's been shortened, so there'll be no room for error here at the Rally Sweden. What will this change for you?
It's clearly the challenge is to try to manage the tires and try to be smart with the tires, but then in the other hand also manage without the studs probably, and then you don't have the banks to back you up if you lose the studs and it's icy braking. We will have a lot of moments for sure.
He has lots of moments anyway because he's quite flamboyant.
We spoke to M Sport team principal Rich Milliner yesterday, who was pretty positive about the whole weekend ahead. And one thing he did say, the key thing, is that we could see a surprise in terms of who comes out victorious at the end of it.
I think so.
He could throw up a surprise winner here in terms of the strategy the guys take, because it is different. As Esa-Pekka said there, it is about managing the tyres as much as you possibly can. Obviously, they will lose studs somewhere along the way. There's no snowbanks there, so the margin for error actually on the stage, there's no margin.
They don't have that comfort bank.
That's right.
Not blanket bank.
It's a comfort bank that they used to use. They're not there this weekend.
But also, you know, Elvin's saying there was some like loose gravel around. So in theory, Neuville on the ice could have a good clean run. Wow, wow.
Could he be the surprise this weekend?
You know, he's already won a rally in that car this year on snow and ice. I know we've not got the snow and ice here, but he already has won it. So Rovanperä is a little bit more au fait in that car than he was like in Monty and things like that. So
Teemu Suninen now in Jarmo Lehtinen, and Teemu led this event. It was the first WRC event he'd ever led last year. Some brilliant performances from him. We'll come back to that, though. Let's hear from Kalle this morning.
Kalle, your second rally driving amongst the big guns. How confident are you feeling coming into this Rally Sweden?
I don't know, because the condition is really difficult now. Not so snowy, so it will be really difficult. Like now the time was okay, but you cannot drive like this on the gravel with the tire. I think already now the tire is dying a lot, so I don't know. We just have to manage the speed somehow, but I don't know how we do it.
Well, as you can see, Teemu Suninen has already had a bit of a moment out there this morning. That happening while we were hearing from Kalle Rovanperä. And then let's take a look at it again.
I think it's the braking for the jump. Oh, he's been lucky. He has been so lucky. Wow. don't really... You can hear in Jarmo's voice, that's high speed, we're in the trees, and they
are very lucky not to be in the trees.
And struggle to start, just hot turbo, hot engine does struggle to start a bit. But that just stepped out. I don't know whether the rear brakes locked or something there, because it did step out very, very quickly. He will just cruise through to the end now. I'm not sure, maybe he might have bent some suspension or something, because the back, I think, did take a bit of a glancing blow on something.
It seemed to, didn't it?
Yeah, because it just seemed to spin it round quickly, but Sunninen's got a little bit of work to do. That's going to shatter the confidence, and we talked in Monty about Teemu, and he's a real confidence-feeling driver. When it's working, there isn't many better people. So power stage, third fastest in the power stage when you got everything together.
Yeah.
But a lot of stages you came to the end of during the seasons of, oh, I need to change the driver, I need to change the car. When Teemu's got it all right, he's absolutely fab. That'll just knock him down a little bit, and that'll just hurt his confidence, because he was coming here. I spoke to him last night, and he was like he said, well, I led here last year, I led overnight for the first time, and that wasn't what he needed at all. But
no, well, let's find out exactly what happened, because it did seem slightly odd.
I'm not sure whether the brake balance was out or something, because he just swapped ends when he was jumped on the brakes to get down for that right-hander. It just stepped out of line, so maybe, I don't know, rear brakes or something? Yeah, there's a little bit of rear damage, so he did clatter something, or, as I said, glancing blow on it. But it's quite
let's take a little look at the rear here.
Yeah, it's just gone in a bit there, so they've been very, very, very lucky, though. Very narrow there for the guys and girls to get an interview.
Teemu, what happened to the rear of the car out there?
Yeah, we went out and hit some trees, but I don't know how I really lost the rear on this place.
Yeah, it was very odd.
It did snap out very quickly. I mean, I don't know. It's as if it just locked the rear brakes.
Well, we'll have a chat with him when he does get back to service and see if we can get to the bottom of that for you as we join now Takamoto Katsuta, Dan Barrett. They have already completed. So at the moment, the fastest man through is Kalle Rovanperä. Katsuta with a time of 4:13.3, which slots him in 5th quickest out of 7 drivers. Tänak now and Martin Järveoja are reigning World Rally champions. Back after a monster shunt in Monty. I'm not feeling any effects of it. He is just playing it down so completely. Let's hear from Taka.
Katsuta, conditions are particularly tough out there. What is your game plan for this weekend?
Yeah, just I need to learn this kind of condition. Okay, for everybody it's very new, like experience this kind of condition with stud tires. So yeah, nobody knows what's gonna happen. So I try to learn conditions and improve my driving starting the weekend.
I know Ems did an interview with Oit in Monty. We did an interview last night with Oit. It's about the safety of these current day World Rally cars and kind of his deadpan expression about it all. And last night was no different. He was, it happens. It's part of the game. And, but to a normal human being, what you went through, you just stuck
He's
there.
not normal, though. He's superhuman, is Oit Tänak.
Normal.
A lot of journalists were asking him last night when we were all at Hyundai, are you feeling a lack of confidence? Has it dented your confidence? Does it feel any different to, any of your previous offs? And he was like, no.
I think what it is, the big thing, is he knows what went wrong.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. When these drivers have a crash, if it's something that breaks, something that they can't work out why it happened, that's what scares them.
Fastest through then on this shakedown test.
Now, I reckon the Cup, obviously, maybe we heard Elvin saying there was some loose gravel. Is it, as strange as it sounds, a cleaning line now? But just going back to Oit in this crash, he knew what caused that crash, the compressions. It wasn't a scare or a surprise to him as such.
It is a hearty welcome back to Jari-Matti Latvala, back into the championship.
They're bright gloves, they are, and crash helmets.
definitely not going to lose him this weekend.
Great to see you, Oink, after your crash in Monte Carlo. Your title fight 2020 starts here. How are you feeling coming into this Rally Sweden?
I feel good, but not really for these tires. So yeah, already this 7 kilometers last 2 Ks was very, very tricky.
Yeah, similar kind of comments really to Ogier at the start.
But you see, what happens also, we'll try and do it on All Live over the weekend. I'll try and get hold of a snow tyre. And these snow tyres, the blocks are quite tall. Then you've got the studs that protrude out. So it's like they're on stilts.
Yep.
When the tyres get really hot, the block starts to move on the tyre. So when they're in a long sweeping corner, the block is bending, so the studs are not biting into the ground. So they're saying, oh, we're losing grip, we're losing studs. What is actually happening is it might still have the studs, but the studs are not 90 degrees to the road as such. There may be a 45-degree angle. But over the weekend, we'll try and get hold of a studded
right now,
tyre.
they're not cutting into anything.
No, that's it. They're gliding
Normally
across the top.
they're cutting into ice and they remain, but not the case at the moment. So Jari-Matti Latvala then back with us, and you know, it's a very different Jari-Matti Latvala. It's a privateer Jari-Matti Latvala effectively that rejoins, and I love the fact Juho Hänninen is alongside him as a co-driver. We have seen this partnership before, not within the World Championship, but they have competed on events together. It's 2 drivers in the car together.
It's all right. If Jari gets tired because he's a bit he could just pass it over.
But what I'm keen to know is, you know, is Juho pretty, is he critical? You know, is he telling him, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that? Is he encouraging? I want to know what the dynamic is like in that car.
There's someone else who's back as well.
Yeah, Craig Breen and Paul Nagel got a pretty late call-up for this. Just after Monty, they knew they would be in action in Sweden. But let's hear from a man who is much missed in Monty.
You have a lot of experience here in Rally Sweden, so you're probably the best place to tell us what is it going to take to win this Rally Sweden.
Well, I think the condition is going to be very challenging this year in this sense that you have mixed of ice and gravel, and to be able to find the confidence to drive on high grip and low grip situation, because I'm sure that it's going to be very demanding for the tires. Tires are great, but not necessarily designed for all the conditions, so just adapt all the time for the conditions.
Yeah, I think you're going to hear. Yeah, but you're going to hear that word a lot this weekend. Adapt, adapting to the conditions, because they are changing on every stage, and that is what our crews have to do.
You just saw a bit of stuff lying across the road. That was parts of Teemu Suninen and Jarmo Leightonen's Ford Fiesta that have obviously fallen off. Their foot braking there, Mike Craig. Foot count.
Foot count. Yeah, Craig's done well here. Second overall in 2018. That was back with Citroen. It was a great result for him with Scott Martin alongside him back then. And his best result that we've seen in the championship to date.
And finish 200
I think Craig thought the arch was the finish because he seemed to back off, and then he accelerated. So maybe a couple of tenths of a second lost. I'm sure he thought that was maybe the
third quickest
finish.
through for him. So it's Tänak with the fastest time through Shakedown with a 4:04.7. Then Rovanperä, then Breen. As we switch to the man who won the WRC2 Pro category here last year, Mads Osberg, Torstein Eriksson, coming off the back of a great result in Monty as well.
That was a strong result for him, it really was. Not sure whether...
Great to see you back here, Craig. Tell us, what are your tips for the weekend?
Pray for a bit of snow. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's so nice to be back in a proper rally car again, and I really enjoy it. You know, this is what rallying is all about. I just love the feeling and sensations of being in a whole rally car. So I don't care if it's 30 degrees sunshine on the tarmac or it's here, snow, whatever. Every opportunity I get, I take it. So a few changes with the car now, and we'll try and get even better.
Yeah, every single opportunity he gets to be behind the wheel, as he's told us previously, he will take it.
I think Torstein's, this camera here, I think, is being knocked when they've got the crash helmets out from behind the seats. And I think his camera's been kicked when he got into the car. Because I don't think that's designed, but that's meant to be pointing in that direction. But
going for some kind of arty film angles here.
keeping it with the kids or something like that, you know what I mean?
No, don't try and say those kind of phrases to us. You're banned. Anyway, Mads Osberg, he was really impressive in Monty.
I thought he had a good run in Monty. Granted, yeah, he keeps going on about, well, I had that puncture in stage 3. Yeah, stage 3. We did skid on the ice into the bank. So
which everyone did on that stage.
And a lot of people got away with it. Obviously, Mads didn't. But he'd be strong here, but he's got, you know, actually, strangely, I think he's got more competition here than he did in Monty. Even though he's got more experience here, you've got Veiby, Tiedemann, you know, this...
He was the quickest, well, Veiby won WRC 2 last year, but overall,
yeah,
he was the quickest in the category of car.
Yes.
Adrian Fourmeau and Renaud Gemot, really brilliant in Monty.
They set a lot of stage winning times. It's his second time now
here in Sweden, but it's last time he was in an R2 car. He was here in Sweden. This is a very different prospect for him, of course. Let's hear from Mads, though.
Mads, tell us, how do preparations go before this Rally Sweden?
Yeah, the preparation has been quite okay, but nothing like this. So we tested quite early and we had good winter conditions, so it's a little bit opposite of what we are seeing now.
Yeah, those just remnants of Teemu's car that we're passing again there, on board with Fourmeau.
I thought Fourmeau was great in Monty. This, as you've already pointed out, he was here last year in an R2, in like a Ford Fiesta R2. Now up into R5. I would be very surprised if he does anything other than just make sure he gets all of that experience, you know, and try and get around the whole route. It needs, as we've already been hearing, very challenging and very difficult conditions.
No, it certainly is for him. What I love about Fourmeau, we talked about it in Monty, is that, you know, he hasn't been rallying very long. I think it's 2-3 years we've actually seen him competing. He was training at medical school. He wanted to be a doctor, and then you know the switch came, and it's been such a fast acceleration in terms of what he's achieved. He was the French junior champion. He's managed to accrue quite a bit of experience, but showing pace immediately. And it's natural talent, Jules.
And what he did last year, when he wasn't in his program in WRC 2, he was doing rallies in the little Ford Fiesta front-wheel drive car to get the experience. So he wasn't one of these of, oh, well, I'm not going to step down now, I've been here. No, I'll go to those rallies in that. If that's all we can afford to go in, I'll go in it, get the experience, get the mileage.
Now we'll hear from Adrian very shortly with Haley. So we switch now to the Hyundais, to Nikolai Gryazin.
Has done quite a bit of rallying in Latvia and in the Baltic regions in snow and ice, so he's kind of got experience of studded tyres. Quite a lot of experience on studded tyres, potentially compared to people like Fourmeau and people like that.
Adrien, hi. It's going to be a tough Rally Sweden. Do you have a strategy coming into it?
You know, I think it will be a really tough rally. We'll have some different places, condition, snow, gravel. It will be a big challenge to manage tires. So I think we should go back home with some points in WRC 2. I think that's the most important.
I mean, he said it all right there. It is going to be a huge challenge, but they are here to do it. They're tackling it head on this weekend. They have to manage conditions as best they can. Well, and as you said, try and walk away with points.
You already mentioned it. Lappy mentioned it. There's no kind of safety bank. So if someone does go off here, like Suninen, we saw Suninen have that big moment, you can make up good places by just making sure you stay on the road. Fourmeau's experience, and he knows he's not got very much experience here. Let's just pick up whatever points we can and pick up on other people's kind of like maybe issues and problems.
Yeah, the driver who has the least issues this weekend keeps it on the road, could walk away with a massive haul of points.
Exactly.
Nikolai completes then. So Fourmeau's time was 4:29.6. We'll hear from Nikolai very shortly. Welcome along to Shakedown here at Rally Sweden.
Nikolai, how's the car feeling?
Quite okay. First run, not so push, but it feels okay. Not big problems, but it's okay.
We'll see how they get on then through the rest of the weekend here in Sweden. That's Nikolai Grierson. Let's take a look at the classification for our shakedown stage. Then with Tänak the fastest through, Kalle Rovanperä 2.5 seconds behind. Then it's Breen, Latvala, Evans, Lappi, Neuville and Katsuta to take us through to the top 8 through the shakedown stage. Then wrapping up down into the top 10, Nikolai Grierson. Now, we are going to be heading into the service area. Let's join Abby and Emmer.
Yes, thank you. We are waiting nervously at M Sport because Suninen's car will be in very soon. And it was, I mean, all of the drivers struggling with conditions, but it was Teemu that looked like it could have been a horrendous start to Rally Sweden.
Absolutely. It was nearly game over before he started. He was very, very fortunate to get away with that. Here's the car coming in. You can see the damage there. Yeah, if that was a couple of feet in front of that rear wheel, it would have been a completely different story. I'm sure he's going to breathe a large sigh of relief there. Very, very lucky to get away with it, but just shows how, you know, tricky the conditions are going to be this weekend, and it's going to be a real lottery.
Yeah, well, let's have another look at that because it was high speed, Em. Like you say, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and there we go. It's a gravel road. There are trees both sides, and of course, historically, you'd have snowbanks that you could bounce off and maybe, you know, like a bobsleigh run, work your way down the road. But very lucky to get away with that and to drive it back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you heard his teammate, you heard Esa-Pekka Lappi say, you know, that you don't have the banks to give them the backup.
This is it. It's going to be completely new to everybody. No matter how much experience you've got in Sweden, this year is a new rally for everybody. And Teemu is the first victim, but there will be many, many more. So they'll have a quick service. They've got another shakedown tonight, so this will be fixed for the next stage. Absolutely no problem with that. We're waiting for Richard Milliner to come and have a word with us, hopefully. He's in there assessing the damage as we speak. Doesn't look too concerned at the moment. I'm sure he's going to be breathing a large sigh of relief as well, isn't he? Can you imagine if it was over before it even started? But hey.
I know. Well, it is the second stop on the calendar, and this is what it looks like in terms of championship standings coming into this rally. It is Thierry Neuville who got the full haul of points last time out in Rally Monte Carlo with 30, Sebastian Ogier on 22, and Elfyn Evans, who had a great drive. I think I heard Julian Porter say it was the drive of the weekend. Elfyn Evans in third, EP in fourth, Kalle Rovanperä just came second in that run of Shakedown, finished fifth in Rally Monte Carlo, ahead of a 9 times world champion Sebastian Loeb in sixth. So we are we have sent PK out to try and get Rich Milner.
He is on his way.
He is going to come and chat to us. But yeah, obviously the huge talking point is that it is a shortened itinerary because it's really uncharacteristically warm, although it feels freezing here at the moment, but lack of snow. So it is shortened, but like you say, it makes it really quite exciting.
Yeah, it's almost a sprint, you know, there's no room for any errors. It makes it even more exciting for me. New conditions and a shorter rally. But Richard's joined us. Thank you, Richard. Come in here. You've had a quick look at the car. How bad is it?
No, it looks okay. Just some bodywork damage. Not something we really want to be doing right now, to be totally honest with you, but it could have been done a lot worse. But,
yeah, how lucky was Teemu there?
Yeah, pretty lucky not to hit anything. So we just need to have a look because it seemed a bit strange what happened, really. So Teemu wasn't expecting it at all, and you can see from the video it kind of switched ends really quickly. So we just need to have a quick look and see maybe if there was anything that caused that. But lucky escape, I think.
Yeah, well, best of luck with the rest of the rally. We're going to have a look at the schedule. Thanks, Rich.
All right.
Rich, thank you so much. Yeah, the schedule then for the next few days. Remember to be part of the conversation. Use that hashtag at the bottom of the screen there, WRC Live. So we've got the opening ceremony and the Shakedown tonight. That'll be at Karlstad in the Trotting Arena. And then the numbering here, just to give you clarity, we have got 4 stages in total on Friday, but they are the stage numbers as original, so that they're all the same in the road books, etc. So it is stage 2 on your screen, and it will be effectively stage 1 tomorrow. And then we've got the same itinerary on Saturday, and then 2 stages on Sunday to round things up. So it's 11 stages in total, 171 kilometres. Just for your knowledge, the stage numbers are the same as the original, but as you say, it could be an exciting sprint to the finish line here.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 stages. They're running in the morning because it's going to be cooler, so hopefully they'll hold up a little bit better. But yeah, it's super, super exciting. Can't wait.
Can't wait to make sure you stay with us with every kilometre of action here in Rally Sweden. We'll be back tonight. Join that conversation. Use the hashtag WRC Live. We'll be back on air 7:30 local time here in Sweden. See you then.
Welcome to the WRC, the FIA World Rally Championship. Get access to exclusive content with WRC Plus, including more than 25 hours of live stream from every rally, real-time GPS tracking of your favourite drivers, thousands of thrilling onboard videos with various perspectives, and the largest video archive, including highlights and feature videos of the WRC. Get WRC Plus and follow the FIA World Rally Championship anytime, anywhere.